She is deeply unimpressive and she lacks substance. That's so obvious. Have a look at this exchange where she shares with her audience in the interview what her reaction was when she found out that Joe Biden wasn't going to run. In other words, she was likely to be the candidate for the Democrats.
Look, from the time that the president called me and told me he wasn't running, I mean, it just like everything was in speedy motion. And I was not sleeping so well. And that one morning, I mean, I had, I don't know, a few hours sleep, and I like to sleep. I just got up, I was like, and so I just went out and got a pork roast and started marinating.
See, time to work. Get to your happy place.
And my family happened to be in town, so they were very happy about the whole situation. But I just got up and started, everybody's asleep, I just got up and started cooking.
I mean, good Lord, everything happens in speedy motion, and then we get the laughing and the cackling again. But in the same interview, have a listen to this answer from the person who wants to be president, the current sitting vice president, her plans for the economy. Have a listen.
So, look, I grew up, so my sister and I were raised by our mother. We lived for a long time in an apartment on top of a child care center. That child care center was actually owned by a woman who lived 2 doors down from us, Mrs. Shelton, who was, by all of our accounts and feelings, our second mother. She helped raise us. And so she was a small business owner.
Adam, you're an economist. This is your bread and butter. How should we feel about a presidential candidate whose only economic plan is to tell us that when she was a kid, she knew someone who owned a small business?
Yeah, look, it's really extraordinary stuff. In fact, I think the question that she was asked just before she gave that word salad about her childhood, about, once again giving the middle class upbringing line, was what specifically would you do for the economy? And she did not answer the question at all. So I think, I think even ordinary voters now are starting to notice that she simply cannot answer that question at all. And the difficulty is the fact that she's been vice president for 4 years in an administration whose economic record, frankly, has been pretty abysmal. I mean, sure, the inflation rate might have come down to 2.5%, but prices are still going up, and they're still 25% higher than they were 4 years ago. So it's still very much a sore point for ordinary Americans, their handling of the economy. But, more to your broader point, she's been doing a few more interviews recently, a few softball podcasts, and frankly, I've been shocked at how bad she is, really. I mean, it's so clear that she's just been told to say these certain phrases and lines over and over again. And sure, that might be expected of a junior state politician somewhere in the United States, but not someone who aspires to the highest office in the land. They should be articulate. They should be able to think on their feet, and she just cannot.
Yeah, they should have some ideas as well. It's deeply worrying. It's frightening, in fact. Tomorrow we get the debate between the vice presidential candidates, J.D. Vance and Tim Walz. Well, this will be interesting, of course. Will it be consequential? Will it swing votes?
Well, look, historically, these vice presidential debates don't really make much difference, but I think this one probably will more than usual because it is actually the last debate of the presidential campaign season. Trump and Harris have said that they're not going to do any more, so this is the last one. Look, it's going to be an interesting debate to watch. Two very different characters. Of course, the age, one is 60, Tim Walz is 60, J.D. Vance is only 40. Their backgrounds are very different. I mean, interestingly, they're both trying to appeal to the same sorts of mid-American voters. So the Walz team has been briefing out that Tim is nervous. I think that they're trying to lower expectations, and I can understand why they want to do that because Vance is a very good debater. He's very sharp, very smart, and apparently he's relishing this 90-minute contest, which will be held in New York, as you say, tomorrow. So look, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, if I was going to make a prediction, I think that Vance will thrash Walz.
We will see. May the best man win. One of them's my age, apparently. One of them's about your age. So we'll see. Adam, thanks for joining us.
That's right. Okay. Thanks, Chris.